Good afternoon from Marie at Messy Creations. I hope this slightly damp day finds you safe and well. Sorry, just begging your pardon. So, get myself organised. Just having a bit of a moment. There we go. So do say hi if you are watching live, and if you're on catching up on replay, then do please say hi as well. And excuse me while I blow my nose because I'm going to sneeze. Oh, sorry, we've got me in echo. Let's get rid of that. Definitely don't need that, do we? We don't need two of me. So, right. No, sorted, sneeze didn't come. So, today, Snowman season is our stamp set. And the colours are kind of aiming for an icy, wintry look, but we'll see how we go. As I say, I have no idea what's going to happen here. Never tried this set as a one-sheet wonder, so be interesting for everybody. So we have Balmy Blue, Seaside Spray, Highland Heather, and Soft Sea Foam. So they're my ink colours. I have the corresponding card out, and the aim is that I am going to cut my cards using my old faithful design of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Is that right? 4, 5, 6, 7, I think so. Anyway, we'll work that out as we go along. So a couple of note cards with this section and some standard size cards with that. So that is the aim. So I have my shimmery white paper as my base. Hi Jeanette, hi Jane, hi Pam. If you, I can see you, it says you're watching, so hopefully you are there. So let's see what happens. Something brand new for me, and we might need some colouring in because these sets are generally an outline, so we might do a bit of colouring in as well, but let's just see. Let's get my inks out. I'm going to live dangerously and have my colours to the right of me. Not necessarily great when you're right-handed, however, if I have them on my left, I'm constantly reaching across the screen, so that's not good for you. So I can't believe it's Wednesday already. Don't know where the week's going. Time flies when you're having fun. So let us start with our little snowman. I should stop saying snowman, shouldn't I? Snow person. I know the set's called Snowman season, but and I'm going to start with Highland Heather for this one. So let's just go for it. We've got to just get that ink on our blank paper and see where we go. And we'll see how I feel once, because you can see that we've just got the outline, so I might do a little bit of shading in some of those areas. So let's start with that. Then we have our other little fella waving the arms, so we will go, let's go Balmy Blue. So I hope everybody is well. Definitely starting to feel the chill, and I've definitely noticed it's starting to get darker, isn't it, of an evening. Ends up with a bit of a hole here. Every so often I need the video to catch up with my stamping to have a look, so we'll try that one to start with. What I might add in is some of the Merry Christmas in our soft sea foam. Just see how that comes across. This set comes with some couple of little snowflake patterns as well, so we've got that. So I am trying to potentially keep in mind, in my head, what I'm trying to do, what goes on in my head, who knows. I'm trying to think about what might happen when I start cutting it up. So I've kind of got that imprinted on my head. On my head, in my head. Luckily not on my head, that would be weird. I'll leave that like that for the minute. So then we've got this little snowman. So normally this one works with the punch. Obviously it does work on its own as well. And normally you would add the arms and the hat. However, I'm going to see what happens, how he looks. Because what I'm thinking... I don't really know what I'm thinking. Don't know at all. So I do feel we might need to add a little bit of extra colour. Not different colours, but just add a bit of interest into some of these snowmen. But I do think it's such a fantastic way of creating cards that, let's do his little hat. I'm wondering if we need Seaside Spray and Balmy Blue are quite close. I'm thinking... I might add a bit of Coastal Cabana, just as a slightly, I think it's one of the colours I've got out ready for. I've got a class on Saturday, just with 2 people, but that's going to be quite exciting. So I'm going to do a crafty day at somebody's house. So some of my inks are separate, but I just think that adds, yeah. So I'm not constructing that snowman in its traditional way. I'm just using the hat around the place, but I'm sure if you come along regularly and see my one sheet wonders, you can see there's a lot more white around the place. So it's whether we embrace that or we add a bit of colour. So I might got a couple of different things running through my head. So what I'm thinking is potentially we could fill some of the snowman body with snowflakes. Let's try it in this little corner. You can see how we just add a little bit of texture. What do you think? Yay or nay? What I'm also thinking is Highland Heather stamped off might be quite so. Let's also have some I think it might work in the blues, but not. Just letting the video catch up to see how it looks on the video. But you can see, I can definitely notice it's a lot whiter than it would perhaps be. But I wonder whether the best thing might be to cut it up and then colour. So I've got my blends pens handy. So is this working for people, or do you not think it's a set that's going to work? I mean, clearly it's going to work, because I'm not wasting this bit of paper. However, is it a repeatable set? It's very different though, isn't it, Jeanette, I think? Thought my video had frozen then, I just stopped. I was waiting for the video to catch up, I think. So I'm going to do these snowflakes in a few different colours around the place. Hi Linda. Not a flower in sight. And I'm not 100% sure how it's going at the moment. However, I'm thinking that we need to add some blends to it. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. What? And you know what will really change this one as well will be the backing paper. I've got to be a little bit careful of is that one's going to be... So again, if we kind of envisage how I'm going to cut it up. I definitely think there's going to be some colouring in done. So what else do I have? I'll have these little kind of stones that ground the snowmen. If you were making a traditional card, let's just pop a few of those around the place. Because the other thing we could potentially do this kind of is how it actually happens as I'm crafting, because I literally have ideas as I go along. So I'm promising myself I'm not going to grab another stamp set. However, what I am thinking is Snowflake Splendor paper. So we could go slightly small. I don't normally use a DSP paper with a one sheet wonder, because in a way a one sheet wonder is in itself like a homemade version of a DSP, designer series paper, for anyone who doesn't like an acronym. I kind of feel like I need to prove to myself that we can make this work. So I've definitely got more going on up there. I've got a bit of a gap here now. Where's that? So that's gonna, so that could lend itself to having an additional greeting. That might work, and then that would be. Can you hear the cogs whirring? Oh, actually, let's have a bit of extra. I forgot about my Coastal Cabana. Add a bit of extra colour about the place. Well, I think I'm going to stop there and see. They have been, you're right. Just checking they still work. I think they might need a bit of oiling, to be fair. You see, what in my head is some of the Snowflake Splendor have stunning kind of look at, I mean, just gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, that might work quite well. Oh, actually, that one, how about that? Really snowflakes on that. Not sure about that on this particular card. Oh, I'm definitely thinking that might work. So let's play. Let's cut it up, see what we think. Because I'm thinking these backgrounds could really change how it looks. So initially we're going to cut it into R4. Oh, I don't know why I'm right-handed. I haven't suddenly changed the hand. I'm going to put that soft seafoam away. So we are cutting at 10.5 and then 14.9, which I haven't got my glasses on, is about there. So that one, I think, so I'm going to cut it in half diagonally, but what we can do is kind of envisage which way we might want to cut that. Cut it that way, I think. And then Merry Christmas is obviously going to need to be in a top corner, which has given us a little gap there. So where's my stamp set now? Oh, we could, there's a Let It Snow in the set, so we could, you know what we could do? We could pop that on a card base and have a little trim of that one with a Let It Snow added there. That might be rather nice. Then this one could go into that corner and do something else. It's very descriptive, wasn't it? So we need a bit to do. I think this piece lends itself. I'm going to cut this one in half, so that's at 7.5, and then let's leave those as they are now. Now I want a strip, so what I'm thinking is my 3.5 centimetre strip, I might just change slightly because what I'm going to do is grab that Merry Christmas so that I get the whole of that word. So let's make that 4 centimetres. That along the top of a card with one of the designer series papers. Do you know what the other thing we could do? We could add, now these were the little fellows I did yesterday, but can you imagine if I put an extra dimension on the card with, clearly not one of those because they're already on a card, but we could punch a snowman and add a snowman. Potentially. Now, where am I? Right, we have that piece there, and then potentially this piece is going to stay in one, although it will probably get cut down. So let's start with this piece here. So I'm thinking a little centimetre strip there might look rather nice. I'm not going to work on the on Balmy Blue or Seaside Spray. Not sure it's quite going to. Oh, do you know what we could do? Turn that round a bit. If we use that bit, oh, that's better, isn't it? Oh, I'm seeing that on that one. So I'll put my weird musings. Oh, hi Carol. Well, you're probably not here. You've probably gone off to eat your dinner. But thank you very much. Hopefully when you come back you shall enjoy. So literally off this piece of paper I'm cutting a 1 centimetre strip, and from this piece of Seaside Spray I'm really not good at working tidily, so I am cutting at 10. I've just literally cut that at 10. I've cut that at the wrong. I'm cutting at 10.5 to make a card base. I now have a 1/2 centimetre extra strip. So you're chatting away and you forget what you're doing. So then I'm scoring at 14.9. And then folding. If you could see the chaos that occurs on my desk. Oh, all my bone folders are packed, ready for class. So this, because the angle of that Merry Christmas, that is going to go into that corner. That strip is going to go onto there. And then we can add a Let It Snow in Seaside Spray. I don't think I've got that one mounted. I don't. Let's try and grab a block without knocking everything flying. Not really. Ah. Yes, there we go. So I'm thinking, let it snow in there. And as a rule, my preference, and there is absolutely no science behind this whatsoever, my preference is to have the greeting the same colour as the card base. That is just a weird thing that I have. There is no science behind it whatsoever. So because I need this to line up in that corner, I am wet gluing. Then we get that little bit of wriggle room. So wet glue, before you stick it, make sure your card is opening the right way. And then literally we can line it up on that side and that side, and then just take the wet glue again and draw a line with the pointy end of the wet glue to retain that bit of blue there. So then that we can just snuggle right on up there. Oops. Right, I'm just going to leave that to dry before I cut that any further. Now with my little note cards, just had to put a large order in for note cards. They have become my new favourite. So what I'm thinking is, because the One Sheet Wonder is considerably smaller than the actual note card, what we will get is a gorgeous piece of DSP. I'm going to cut the DSP just marginally smaller than the card and then pop that on. What have I got? Sorry, having a ribbon moment. not really got a ribbon that goes, so we're not going to put ribbon on this one. So these cards are 13 by 9. So I'm going to cut my paper at 12.5 by 8.5. And I'm just cutting that to make sure that I get some of that Highland Heather and the green. Now, if you so desired, you could gut that bit of paper. So if you wanted to be very frugal, you could cut a piece out and then overlay that, because technically I'm just gluing onto that piece of paper. I'm not going to do that for today. As I did an order last month, and for some reason, not checking it properly, I now have 3 packs of Snowflake Splendor paper. So it's a good job. I absolutely adore it, and it will get used. However, if you only had a pack, I would definitely recommend gutting that just to get maximum use out of your paper, because there would be a smaller bit that definitely had a use. I like to be nice and frugal if we can be. And again, I'm using wet glue because I just want that little bit of wriggle room to make sure that that goes on there straight. But you can already see how the background papers are changing. So pre-sticking them down, or even cutting it up, I was having that moment of like, do I need to add some colour? Do I need to shade that in? But once you add the paper, personally, I don't think you do. That would be your personal choice. I'm going to use this one here. Now, I did have... What do you reckon the chances are? Do you know what? Because I'm sensible, it's in the box. So I have my template in the box. I have cut out snowmen in the box. And any odd bits and pieces. So I do try and keep it all together. Now, what I'm thinking, if we went a soft seafoam card, because of that, and ooh, now this is a bit random. Just wondering if I could do an overlay, do a matte of Highland Heather on a soft seafoam card and have a little snowman extra. Ooh. Or we could do that the other way around. We could. No, I'm going to go the other way around. So I think this, for me, is one of the many joys of a one sheet wonder, is you literally have every colour that you've put into your one sheet wonder to play with. And they don't all have to be flowery at all. I know a lot of them are, they don't have to be. So I'm just going to double check the size of this, and then, so this measures, I did that 4 by 14.5. So I'm going to cut the bit of Highland Heather. I'm only going to cut it at 4.5 because I don't want a huge amount of it showing. And then I'm going to cut at 14.4. So I'm taking ½ centimetre off. So literally all I'll get is, well, clearly not because Marie can't measure. Should we try that again? Clearly that measures 5. No, it doesn't. It measures 4. I want 4.5 extra. I want 4.5. I need extra, not less. So the width wise it will end up being wider than the card. However, let's play around with that, because this card is going to go that way around. This fits exactly. So in order for that to have, see, when you do it the right way around you get that little border, but I want that border all the way around. Actually, no, let's not. Let's have it as a top and a bottom. It's frightening in my head, I tell you. It's fun. Dive on in there. Anyway, chatting away, wasting valuable crafting time. So again, wet gluing. What I want to make sure is, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's butted against that end, and also hopefully that we've got an even gap. So I've got that little bit of extra that will be cut off, and then this again is going to match, make sure, so all I need to make sure is the way the card's opening, and I want my Merry Christmas the right way round. So again, even gap top and bottom, and butt it up against that edge. Any excess will be at the same edge as that one. I've got a summer salty snowman there, but you can kind of see what I'm thinking, or not. Let's ponder on that one. I've lost my scissors. There, ooh, sorry. Grabbed one thing. It was attached to something else. So by cutting that off, and that to me is so simple, yet it's quite beautiful, if I do say so myself. And so this is a whole exercise purely selfishly, because I want to see if I can create a one sheet wonder in every stamp set. So I might do, I quite like that little combo. How about Balmy Blue and Highland Heather? And then this, I suspect that Merry Christmas doesn't fit. So I think what that lends itself to is using the Merry Christmas, but on a thing, you know. What's the word I want? On an extra layer with just the greeting on. Dear oh dear oh dear. Someone give me the correct word for that. Dear oh dear. So again, card base, I am cutting at 10.5, scoring at 14.9. Every so often I just go crazy for using a landscape card rather than a portrait. So that again fits perfectly. So we're going to measure that bit again, and we're going to add 0.5 centimetre. Now the other thing that we could do, if we were going to be frugal, actually let's be frugal. All we need to do is cut a 0.5 centimetre strip. So on the Stampin' Up scoreboard you have, scoreboard, that makes it sound like I'm in a, so I have a 1 centimetre there and I have a 1 centimetre there. So when I'm cutting at 0.5 centimetre, I'm not sure you can see all of that, I'm making sure that I'm lining up at the top and at this halfway point. Otherwise, if you don't, then potentially you risk getting something that's not straight. So I want to be sure. So again, that's been really frugal with the card. So instead of having a piece of card behind that literally is all going to waste, I've cut 2 strips, and of course wet glue is all fallen to the wrong end. Come on, out you come. There we go. So again, wet glue, because what I want to do is make sure that it's lined up at the base of the card, and the easiest way I find is literally just to tap it on the base, because then you know it's as it sits, and then just want to make sure I've got approximately visually the same amount either side, there and there. If it's a little bit out, it's not a problem. And then another little strip of glue. That might be a little bit close. In fact, I promise I haven't had a gin. A little bit too much, as I thought. So I'm just going to run my finger down, and there's a bit of excess there. I will use my glue rubber once that has dried. I'm not going to attempt to do anything with that while it's still wet, but what I am going to do on this side is be more careful and do a really thin strip like that to prove it's possible. It's far better. Again, wherever I put my scissors, all we need to do is a quick snip at that end, and obviously if you had wanted to make those pieces more useful, you could have lined them up. But again, along the top of the card there, I've just got to take the snips right across, nice sharp pair of scissors across that, and hey presto. Then, yes, label or tag. It's definitely the word. Sometimes words just fail me, and actually, do you know what? I'm not convinced I've got one long enough for that. Oh, it's probably in my kit, ready to go out on Saturday. So, I'm going to use a bit of shimmery white. As you can imagine, I have, all I've got to do is find it amongst all my scraps. Literally, I need to get into a better habit. I think during Facebook Lives, it all just gets chucked on the floor, basically. So I have a raft of scraps. Now all I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it in balmy blue, so greeting on a strip of card. We're doing it more as a label, and then we can pop some dimensionals on, and then I am going to just literally cut that and just again visually cutting it so it looks about right. That bit's definitely needs to go in the bin. And I'm just going to take a smidge off that end, and then I'm going to use my corner cutter, so just popping that as far in. What I do quite like is creating a slightly random shape. I think that. Now, of course, we could mount that onto a piece of card as well. However, I'm thinking just pop it onto some dimensionals so that it gives it a little bit of height. Oh, actually, do you know what I've got handy? I've got one of our little strips handy. So dimensionals come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Not all called dimensionals. However, we do sell foam strips, which are little strips like that. So that will just stick across the back there. Peel off and place across the card. Hopefully straight. I do believe we managed. So you can just see it just adds that extra bit of depth. So, lost all track of time. Let us see which. Oh, bit of. Excuse me while I just put my phone on charge. I normally put it on charge before I start a live. And I forgot. So I think I have probably taken enough of your evening up with my chatter, but you can see the sort of things that, oh, should we cut that one before we go? And we use that strip just generally get a more accurate cut if you turn to the back as well. So we have got 3 bits to go. I think that one definitely calls out to have a little snowman additionally there. So it's just because there's a little gap. We've got a little note card with the DSP, and we have our card there with a banner, label, extra tag. So I've got 4 cards already made, and I've got 3 more to go. And if I wasn't so indecisive, we could have got those done within the time. So thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully that has proved that another set can be used for one sheet wonders, and we can create Christmas cards in slightly alternative colours, which I quite like for Christmas. Thank you very much, Jeanette. And yeah, another a foolproof one sheet wonder has been created. So hopefully that inspires you to have a go at some different one sheet wonders. I will be live again Wednesday, Thursday and Friday next week. So enjoy your time in between and happy crafting, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.